Welcome back to Tennessee Valley this morning on WTMB. We are joined, Joe and Kim Pala with you. We are joined by Emily Kender of Pals. And Emily has brought a couple of two very cute
Oh my gosh,
puppies.
I am not kidding. They are too cute.
They are too cute.
And she has painted their little toenails. Emily, tell us a little bit.
First of all, thank you for being with us.
Thank you, and for bringing these gorgeous babies. She has been feeding them, bottle feeding them for about 5 weeks now.
Yes, I have.
Tell us a little bit about them.
Okay, we believe they're Australian Shepherd mixes, and they're starting to tease now.
They're starting to tease. They are. They're chewing on her, and this one was chewing on me a while ago. And they are just. I think you were saying that it was told that the mom wasn't the best mom in the world, and she just didn't want to be bothered, huh?
That is true.
That is true. And so Emily has been caring for them, and you can tell that they are just little butterballs. They are as cute as they can be and as lovable. They have been very well socialized, you can tell.
Now, how old do you kind of guess that they may be?
We are guessing they are around 5 weeks.
Oh. Okay.
So they can't go for another week or two.
Okay, so now when will you guys be at Petco? You're down at Petco
every other weekend.
Every other weekend. Now, were you there this past weekend?
Yes.
Okay,
so, we will
not this weekend.
But the weekend after.
That's right. So on the next weekend, and if I have my calendar, but anyway, not this coming Saturday, but the next a week from Saturday, these little guys will be there, and we've got a little male
and a little female.
And a little female. And guys, these are precious. I want to get this one in the camera too so that she can see. And they are just as cute. This one is light colored. It's blonde. It's got little blonde paws and a little blonde face, and it is just adorable. It's been in my lap. I mean, and it has. It's starting to teeth a little bit, but I mean, it is just precious. And the little girl is actually. She's a little bit bigger.
Yes,
are you bossy? Are you bossy?
She's very bossy.
Is she bossy? Yes, I can tell.
Their noses were burned when I got them.
Oh, they were.
If you look at them, hers have two little dots that makes it look like a pig nose, and him, it's just kind of a little burn.
Oh.
How did that happen?
We don't know. The lady we got them from that brought them up to me at Petco had actually bathed them in ice water. Yes.
Now,
why would she do that? Would she think that would get rid of the fleas or something? Because
they had
too
no
young?
fleas, but they were very messy.
Huh.
And they needed to be cleaned up, so she had ice water.
Ice water, so it was just cold water. Well, goodness mercy.
Oh my goodness.
Well, you can tell, Emily, that you've done an excellent job.
Yes, you have.
I mean, they are you can tell that they are very, very well socialized. They are very, very friendly. They are as sweet as they can be. And anytime a dog will lay on its back like that, that means that they trust you and that they are very submissive to what you want to do. In fact, we have a Chihuahua that will go on its back at our house. So
there's also possibly one more of these puppies for adoption, but I do not have her.
Okay.
One of the other members do.
Now, Emily has raised a puppy before that ended up at our house. I don't know if you guys remember, several months ago we had a little gassy puppy.
Penny.
that was Penny, and I just couldn't stand it, and so we took it home, and our son ended up adopting her, and she has turned into a wonderful, beautiful, smart, well-rounded dog, and that's because she spent a lot of time with Emily when she was first rescued from a parking lot, and they named her Penny's because she was at Penny's parking lot there at Hamilton Place, I think it was, and had been abandoned. And so, guys, if you want a puppy, this is going to be something that's going to get to be probably about 40 pounds.
They're probably 40, 50, somewhere in there.
About 40 or 50 pounds, so this will definitely be a family pet, but you're going to need somewhere that they can run and exercise daily. Right? This is not a lap dog. This is a family pet. This is going to need a fenced-in yard, and but they are just precious.
Now, Emily, did we say on air what we think these dogs are? I don't know if we did or not.
We're guessing Australian Shepherd.
Australian Shepherds, and you know those are beautiful dogs.
And these are beautiful. I mean, there's no such thing as an ugly puppy. I mean, come on. But they've got beautiful markings, and it looks as if this one is just so funny. This one's just had enough. It's ready to sleep.
Yeah, he's been awake all day.
He's been
getting bullied. So
he's been The sister has been claiming all of his toys. But anyway, he's precious.
So if you all are back at Petco a week from this Saturday, they should be ready to go then.
Yes.
So you would probably have these two there
Probably.
Okay.
If they don't get a home before then.
Yes,
If they don't
exactly.
get a home before then.
Now, if somebody would like to get in touch with you to maybe look at these dogs before then, what's the phone number?
You can get a hold of us at 423-476-9395.
Okay.
And they'll be glad to show you these things. Guys, these are not the only puppies that are going to be at Pals, at Petco. Pals is there, like she said, every other weekend. They will be there next Saturday, and they always have some beautiful and great animals for adoption there. And not just puppies and kittens, too. I've seen one of the biggest rabbits I've ever seen up there at Petco one time.
I'm also getting a Persian mixed cat tomorrow.
Oh, wow, wow. So you
It's
guys
a little
that like
calico
cats.
female.
Is it a kitten or is it
It's a kitten. It's an 8-week-old kitten.
Wow, okay.
All right, guys, there's going to be a great source. Thank you, Emily, for bringing
No
these.
Thank you so much. They are beautiful. Yeah,
they are. I'm not kidding. I mean, I have to. I'm just like, I'm not even going to look at. And if I smell the puppy breath, but I have.
That's
to.
it.
I have enough at the house.
Yeah,
Joe plus 3 chihuahuas in the bed.
And I still haven't gotten rid of my puppy breath.
Aww.
Yeah, those are cute little dogs. And again, Emily, the phone number once again?
It is 423-476-9395.
So if you would like, as Julie likes to say, a forever friend.
Forever friend.
For your forever friend forever. Give them a call at Pals. And you know what? This is the deal. And I know people have been talking about this of late, but there's no need to go to a breeder somewhere and spend a lot of money or a pet store to buy a puppy when there's so many rescues that need good homes that are very, very well mannered. A lot of them are already potty trained and that type of thing. So
say not me. Say it'll be a while.
why spend your money somewhere else when you can?
That's right.
Get
When you can rescue a puppy here.
Exactly. All right, Emily. Thank you so much for being with us and bringing these 2 cute little puppies. And do they have names yet, or have you?
I've been calling him Little Man and her Bailey.
Okay.
Aww, we had a Bailey.
We had a Bailey that was a pretty good size too.
I know.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Joe will be back with Christian and Caitlin.
And Caitlin.
That's right.
Again, the puppies can be yours.
Yes, they can.
Petco in 2 weeks, or give them a call at Pals. All right. Thank you so much, Emily.
No problem.
All right. We're going to be back with Christian and Caitlin after this. Stay tuned.
Discover great local programming right here on WTMB East Tennessee Television. Tune in weekday mornings at 6:30 a.m. for Tennessee Valley This Morning to find out what's going on in your local area. Watch East Tennessee Shopper with Joe and Kim Palo live every Monday night from 7 to 8 p.m. Get caught up in all the latest sports action. Watch In the Spotlight with Brittany Jackson. Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m. with replays at midnight. All this and more on WTMB East Tennessee Television.
Hi, I'm Dr. Dennis Ford, board certified in anti-aging medicine and pain management. Have you had recent decrease in energy, lack of sex drive, feel moody, grumpy, or sad? If so, you may have low testosterone and be a candidate for bioidentical hormone replacement. Listen to what 2 of my patients have to say.
Before I came to the Ford Clinic, I had to have a nap every day.
When I got off work, I'd lay around, really didn't want to do much and felt real lazy.
I've noticed since I had the testosterone implant that I can go a good 8 hours doing the things I enjoy doing.
I had it done, it took about 25-30 minutes, 5 months, and I'm doing good. My stomach, my muscles, they've completely changed. My fat level has dropped. Get to go out and run, exercise with my son. My muscles are just getting stronger.
If you'd like to change your life, please call me at Ford Center for Pain Management and Anti-Aging Medicine at 423-400-9115.
It's a very simple process, and it's well worth it.
I'm Wes Robbins with Landmark Insurance Brokerage. When it comes to employee benefits, we've got you covered. Call me today for the best service and best solutions to your group health and employee benefits needs. At Landmark Insurance Brokerage, we've got you covered.
Welcome back. Tennessee Valley This Morning is the name of the show. Joe Palo and Kim is left. We're now joined by Christian Hofferle and Caitlin Land. Caitlin of the Montessori School. Christian is going to talk to us about Maya Fest coming up in May. First of all, thank you folks for being with us.
Thanks for having us.
And you've probably seen Christian on the show before in his Lederhosen.
No, it's not litter. It's actually, it's a valuable material. It's elk leather.
Tell me to say it right again. I had it.
Lederhosen. Lederhosen.
Lederhosen.
Yeah, there you go.
Lederhosen. Okay. Brigitte worked with me on that one day, and I had it, and I was walking out of the room saying it over and over, and I had it right. But that's very unique. And explain to us, first of all, about the attire and what it represents, and then let's talk about Mayfest, and we'll talk a little bit with Caitlin about Montessori.
I'll explain you the attire in a little bit, but I just wanted to let you know that I really don't want to come on your show anymore.
Why is that?
Because if you keep having puppies ahead of what I'm going to tell people, there's no way people are going to listen to me. They're weeping. They're still weeping.
They are. But the good thing is you can make them feel good about what's going to be coming up, and they can walk out of the house going, you know what? Christian made me feel so much better about what's going to be happening that I will go pick up one of those puppies now.
Perfect.
You know what I mean?
Please pick up those puppies.
Right.
It'll be good for you. It'll make you feel better, and it'll make me feel better that I bore you now with my Lederhosen.
They tell you on television, never follow children or animals.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
It's a losing proposition, but anyway, we appreciate you.
Yes. Let's talk about Mayfest.
Mayfest, yes.
It was great last year.
I think so too. It's going to be better this year. We had just shy of 500 people last year, and we anticipate to probably double that. Mainly because those of you who went last year, you know Mayfest is a celebration bringing together Tennessee Valley culture and Bavarian or Alpine Germanic culture. And we have so many Germans and Austrians living among us now with Wacker and their site development that it will be a good fit for both of these communities to actually sit at the table together and share a meal and have conversation and have their kids play together and just experience each other's cultures.
Now, the folks that went last year, it was at Spring Creek, but it's going to be at a different place this year.
It will be at the First Street Square, just across from the Five Points Museum this year.
Okay, wonderful.
And we're working together with Main Street Cleveland. They have helped us jump through some hoops to get this done, and we really appreciate all the adjacent businesses welcoming us there on that Saturday. It's going to be May 19. For you at home, I want you to do one thing. Take out your calendars now, and whatever you have written down there on May 19th, scratch that off. Put there Mayfest at First Street Square, and you'll love it. You won't regret it.
Oh, and I will tell you, it's you know, of course, it's a lot of fun, but it's a lot of great food, unbelievable food. I have to say, the bratwurst that you had last year.
Yeah, we'll have that again, and we'll have it on the authentic German Brötchen, the hard rolls. We'll have the pretzels. We'll have sauerkraut. By the way, homemade sauerkraut, not just something out of a jar. We'll have homemade sauerkraut the Bavarian way.
Strudel.
Strudel, yes. Caitlin, tell us a little bit about the food we're going to have.
Well, you've covered the plate a little bit. There are going to be a few other dessert vendors. I know Needlovs is providing the pretzels. We have one of our Montessori Kinder moms who's preparing the strudel. And so there's going to be a lot of good dessert going on and great German food, authentic German food.
And it's fabulous. And it's in May, but you said it's called Mayfest because M-I-A?
Yes, M-I-A
is how you say May in German.
That's the German word for May, yes.
Okay.
And I think what most people around here probably don't know, when they think of a Bavarian or German festival, they think Oktoberfest. Yep, Oktoberfest is fine. It's huge, and we will never be able to copy that. However, in the month of May, in the city of, or in the town of Burghausen, where Wacker has its main production site, they have an annual county fair type of event in May. So we're basically welcoming these new friends from overseas right where they left off. So they understand that we understand what they're doing.
Now, let's mention this, because, you know, a lot of people associate Oktoberfest, and of course with the German culture, with, and in the German culture, and in Oktoberfest, there is, how you would say, adult beverages.
Yes.
Would that take part in the Mayfest as well?
Yes, there will be adult beverages in designated areas.
Okay.
And of course, you'll be carded, and you'll get a little bracelet, and sorry guys, there's no way to cheat that system.
Right, no, not that you need to.
But there's also the PG-13 section will
Yes.
have kids activities. I think you can tell us a little bit more about the kids activities.
There's going to be a lot of different kids. First of all, we're going to have an outdoor classroom, so you'll get to see a little bit of what we do at Montessori Kinder and what type of program that is. And that's something that some people may not be as familiar with here in this area, but it's a great, I mean, we could go into a lot of detail about what Montessori does in the development of a child's education, but at MyFest there will be an outdoor classroom. And so you'll get to see kind of what we do at Montessori, and then there's going to be inflatables and all kinds of things that kids love to do. So.
Yeah, and segueing here a little bit, let's talk to Caitlin a little bit about Montessori Kinder. Tell us, first of all, your position there, and then a little bit about the school itself.
Well, I'm the administrative assistant to Miss Brigida, who's Christian's wife, and I think you've seen her on the show before. And she is a great director. I think she's well acquainted with Cleveland and well known here. But so at Montessori's building a new school building, which has appeared in the Cleveland Daily Banner, so many of you probably know that. And that building will be at Spring Creek. And so the purpose of MyFest is not only to bring two cultures together, but also to fundraise for this new school building, which is a major, part of what we're doing at MyFest.
Yeah.
And so sponsorship is a really big deal, and becoming involved in the building of a school where kids who are coming from Germany not only can study in a school where they can speak their language and be understood, but where they can get top quality education at a very early age.
And not stray away from their culture, because that's a big part. Because a lot of these folks, we'd love to have them here forever, but they may not stay here forever. They may go back home.
Most will leave at a certain point in time, yes.
And it's a great way to even bring that culture a little bit closer, their culture closer home here to where they are, and then let the folks here that born and raised in Bradley County get a little idea about some of a different culture that has come into our area, because Walker and Volkswagen, as you said, that's huge. And for them to have picked this part of the United States to build their plant and to come is tremendous, great things to say about our area, but obviously about their choice too. They've picked a very good choice in coming here. We think so.
Yeah, they did. We all think that.
Yeah, I mean, but let's talk a little bit more about the Montessori school. You know, it's a little different curriculum than regular school, so to speak, what the states provide. It's a private school.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about how it works.
Well, it is an international school, and not only do we have American students, but there are German students, Brazilian students. There are multiple countries that are represented. Some of the things you get in a Montessori school that you don't get in public school and even most private schools is language development. They're learning Spanish, Russian, German, and then English for the students who that's their second language. There's all kind. I'm kind of new to the system, and so I'm still learning a lot of what it has to offer. But it is a very unique learning program.
Well, I think one of the most unique things about it, to me, you know, in the States, when a child goes to school and they're in a class or they're in a grade, they're in that grade, and they learn what's in that grade till they move to the next grade.
Correct. Montessori,
you kind of work at that child's individual development, their own development.
They have what is called the 3-year curriculum. So children of 3 grade levels or age levels are combined in one classroom. So you have in the lower elementary program, you have grades 1, 2, and 3 combined in one classroom, and the child is allowed to develop at its own pace. So if you have a first grader who's reading on a second grade level, there's nothing holding them back.
Right.
And if a second grader needs to catch up on his math, that is fine as well. At the end of that 3-year curriculum, they all arrive at the same finish line.
See, and that there's something to be said for that, because people develop differently. And within the States, I know a lot of times if a student really excels, they may skip a grade. You know, they may move them to next grade up because they're so well developed, but that's only in special cases with that special student. In this case, all students are special.
And it makes it, sometimes that example makes it difficult for that student if he or she is not socially developed
Exactly.
to skip into the next grade level. He or she will always be that young kid, kind of the outcast nerd, and the Montessori method does not allow for that.
Right. Now, I do know, too, some of the older students even help the younger students
Yes, that
as
is
well,
quite
which is
common. A 6-year-old learns from an 8-year-old probably easier than from a 25 or 20-something instructor or teacher in the classroom if the 8-year-old playfully explains, this is how you put this together, this is how that is added, then it's coming from a peer, and a peer is always trusted more than somebody outside of your age bracket.
Yes, that's very true. About how many students are at the Montessori school currently?
60.
Yeah, 60.
60.
And there's, I think there are about 20 on the wait list.
Really?
That's why there will be a new school building.
Wow.
There's just, the school has run out of space, and the demand is strong. We're glad about that. We're really happy about the demand, and it just is a testament to the quality of the school.
Yeah.
But where we are right now, we just cannot accommodate the need, and that's why we're really need to build that building, and MyFest is going to be play a huge part in financing that construction.
And it's a great fundraiser, and as I said, it's a wonderful event. Lots of great food, entertainment, fun, and then of course it's for a worthwhile cause.
Let me not forget,
Yes,
there's
sir.
live music. We will have an Oompa band.
Okay.
And the band is called Jakob Herzog and the Bavarian Express. They're a US-based band, but they all hail from Bavarian heritage, and they will bring their instruments and they will play authentic Bavarian
polkas and
yeah, you'll love it.
Okay, my mom used to have polka records that she played all the time.
It's gonna be
the beer barrel polka.
It's gonna be slightly cheesy, but it's
that's
gonna
good
be a lot
though.
of fun.
Yeah, that's great. That's great fun, and it's a family event.
Yes, it's family friendly. I mean, there is adult beverages. Obviously, you can't have a Bavarian festival without beer.
Right.
But nobody's going to force you to drink beer. There's going to be lots of other drinks, and there's going to be areas for everybody to enjoy.
The food is just what's tremendous. The food, you got to check out the food. Let's talk a little bit more now about the Montessori school. If somebody out there watching is interested in getting on the waiting list,
yes,
what do they need to do? How do they go about doing that?
At that point, you can go to the website and get contact information.
Okay.
Which is montessorikinder.com. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
And so you can at that website find an email address, which is classroom@montessorikinder.com. You can find a phone number to call the school and talk to the director about being on that waiting list. So, and we are moving into the new school building soon, so this would be a great time to get your name on that list, your child's name.
Now, this is something I've got to ask how this works. Okay, let's say, for example, there's a child right now that's in 6th grade locally, and the parents want to enroll that student in the Montessori school.
They would have to go to different Montessori school because Montessori Kinder right now goes through 3rd grade.
Okay. So, retract that.
Okay.
The student's in 2nd grade.
Yes.
And they've been through public school, kindergarten, 1st grade, 2nd grade. Now they want to move on to the Montessori school. Mm-hmm. They get on the waiting list, this new school's built, and then they send their child to the new school. Mm-hmm. How does that child get, I don't want to say acclimated to what the total differences that they're going to find there? How does that student, how do they acclimate the student to that?
There's a process that in Montessori terms is called normalization. They will be immersed into the classroom, and they will get a hands-on guidance, so that they won't be left alone in that new environment. The student-teacher ratio in a Montessori classroom is quite different from the public system.
Okay.
I would say that there is 1 teacher to 8 students, maybe 1 to 9. I would have to ask for you to forgive me for not knowing that.
No, that's
but that is a conversation for the parent to have with the lead teacher in the classroom or with the director, because every child is different.
Yes.
So every child's transition will be different. This is a full immersion school, so there are children with disabilities, for instance.
Right.
So their transition is quite a bit different from a child with abilities. That has to be individually discussed in a parent-teacher or a parent-director meeting, and then in a tour through the school.
So Caitlin, I guess every child is evaluated, and then from that point, they decide. You know. Now, let me ask you. Like, I guess some parents, along with their children, would like to maybe come by, maybe take a tour of the school. Do you have tours where they can stop by certain days, times? Do they just need to make an appointment?
If you set up an appointment, if you make an appointment using the contact information on the website, you can come and take a tour of the school, and at that point decide if you think it's a good place that you want to place your child, and that you can see how your child reacts to the classroom, and a lot of people do that. We have tours on a regular basis, so you can feel free to make an appointment.
Now, if someone, the 20 that you have so far on the waiting list, do you have is there a rough estimate, a guesstimate of how long it's going to be before they're placed, before they're able to, is it just it's kind of like a waiting
guess, because there might be a parent whose child is in kindergarten or in the pre-primary classroom, for instance, they're moving away, and that would be unexpected, and all of a sudden there's a spot opening. That's anybody's guess. You can't say what the wait is there.
Now, the service area, Montessori school, I know services, but do you have like a rough estimate of the area that you service? Is it Bradley? Is it all the counties in southeast Tennessee? Is it just our little area?
There's one child from McMinn County, I would believe. There is no limitation. I mean,
come from anywhere.
Yeah, you can come
as
from
far
anywhere.
As you wanna.
Yeah, if you want to drive for 2 hours, you can certainly do that.
And a lot of parents may think to do that if it's the quality of education, you know, because that's obviously the point of going there is the quality of education you're going to find. Okay, so school scheduling, is it 8 to 3, 7 to 2?
There are a lot of different options because we do have ages, infant to 8, 9 years old, and so the younger kids, some of them only come Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Some come Tuesday, Thursday. Some stay full day. Some stay half day. I know that the primary students, which would be 1st to 3rd grade, translated to public school terms, they stay from 7:45. They start 8 o'clock, and they stay until 3.
Okay.
And so that's set. But for the younger kids, there's more flexibility as far as schedule, and that's worked out between the parent and between the director.
Now, is there a lot of homework, so to speak? I mean, does the child have however they're developing in class, they take that home with them, and the parents work with them at home with that same idea? Or
at the elementary level, there can occasionally be homework. I mean, it happens with my daughters. They bring homework sometimes if they don't finish their workload during the day. But usually that does not require parent supervision. Usually if the teacher assigns homework, the student has already been introduced to a certain lesson, and they will be able to complete it on their own terms, and that's the purpose.
Yeah.
But it's not like in the public system where sometimes you're sitting there for 2 hours doing homework.
Because I'm thinking parents at home thinking, okay, look, Rodney, I can't help you with this. I don't have any idea. That happens a lot today, just in public. And I'm thinking, so, all right, so we got Mayfest or MyFest, which is happening the 19th. It's going to be just a great fundraising event, which is going to help develop funds to build the new Montessori school that's we're looking at for in the future.
Yes.
Tell us again about MyFest, how folks can get involved if they like to. Maybe is there folks that maybe you're looking still for vendors or
we're looking for corporate sponsors.
Okay.
We're looking for volunteers. So the easiest way to get involved is go on our Facebook page. It's facebook.com/MyFest, MAIFEST, facebook.com/MyFest. We also have a Twitter, so you go @MyFest. You can message us on Twitter as well. We handle all those requests. There'll be a phone number, I guess, on the Facebook page, but I think email or Facebook post is the easiest way for us to respond. Just post your question or your suggestion or whatever inquiry you have, and we'll be able to help you with that.
Okay, and again, it's the 19th.
It's Saturday, May 19th, First Street Square.
And it begins at what time?
Good question. We start at 10 o'clock and it'll run through 3 o'clock. That's the scheduled time. There might be some spillover, you never know, but 10 to 3 is the scheduled.
That's wonderful.
And a plate of food is $8.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so you pay the $8 and you get that plate with all those different German foods on it. So that's exciting. And then for kids' activities, they'll have unlimited access to all the kids' activities that are there. So for that child entry, it's $5. And you don't have to pay just to enter. You can come in, look around, decide if you want to pay to actually participate. So
you can still be there without having to pay to participate.
Right.
But of course, we want you to stay from 10 to 3 and spend your savings.
Yes, there you go.
Spend it all.
And Caitlin, for the Montessori school, somebody wants to get in touch with you, again, the phone number, the website?
The website is montessorikinder.com. And there you can find my email address, which is classroom@montessorikinder.com. That's where I'll answer your emails, so that's how you get in touch.
All right, folks. We appreciate, of course, Christian being with us as he has from time to time. He comes to be on our show. Not always dressed like this, but it's always nice to see you like that.
I'll come with a puppy next time.
Would you bring? That'd be perfect. The puppy and the Lederhosen, or however you say. I'm going to get it and say it right. Lederhosen. And Caitlin, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for having us.
We're going to be back. We've got Ron Moore in the house. We're going to talk a little bit about Bradley County history on the way after this commercial break. Please stay tuned.
I'm Kathy Guy with Landmark Insurance Brokerage. Call us today for all your personal insurance needs. With 28 years in the insurance business, I have the solutions and pricing you are looking for. At Landmark Insurance Brokerage, we've got you covered.
Discover great local programming right here on WTMB East Tennessee Television. Tune in weekday mornings at 6:30 a.m. for Tennessee Valley This Morning to find out what's going on in your local area. Watch East Tennessee Shopper with Joe and Kim Palo live every Monday night from 7 to 8 p.m. Get caught up in all the latest sports action. Watch In the Spotlight with Brittany Jackson, Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m. with replays at midnight. All this and more on WTMB East Tennessee Television.
Hi, I'm Dr. Dennis Ford, board certified in anti-aging medicine and pain management. Have you had recent decrease in energy, lack of sex drive, feel moody, grumpy, or sad? If so, you may have low testosterone and be a candidate for bioidentical hormone replacement. Listen to what 2 of my patients have to say.
Before I came to the Ford Clinic, I had to have a nap every day.
When I got off work, I'd lay around, really didn't want to do much and felt real lazy.
I've noticed since I had the testosterone implant that I can go a good 8 hours doing the things I enjoy doing.
I had it done, it took about 25-30 minutes, 5 months, and I'm doing good. My stomach, my muscles, they've completely changed. My fat level has dropped. Get to go out and run, exercise with my son. My muscles are just getting stronger.
If you'd like to change your life, please call me at Ford Center for Pain Management and Anti-Aging Medicine at 423-400-9115.
It's a very simple process, and it's well worth it.
Welcome back to Tennessee Valley This Morning. We are now joined by Ron Moore, and I've got my little husband sitting right here.
That's right, and I hear you're going to be doing the Bavarian.
It is, but I was asking Christian, we went to commercial, there's a dance. Have you seen the Bavarians? They do that kind of stuff. I want him to teach it to me. He said what that is a mating dance that the Bavarian guys do to impress the women. Ron, they do that kind of a dance, and then it impresses
I'm listening.
And so he's going to show it to us, and we'll impress women doing this dance. All I know is that. Oh, you slap your foot. So
well, that I can see that why that didn't impress them. Well, if you can get your foot up,
if you can get it up, that's when
you can slap it.
I don't know if I can slap it from here right now. I tie my shoes, but that's about the limit.
Well, the thing is, we've got to wear those little hosen, the outfit too.
Do they have them in extra large?
I think so.
Okay.
Brigitte told me to get it on eBay.
Ron was complaining a little bit back there. We were back there, and he says he's got to follow the puppies and the
I don't know. The little hosen.
The shorts with the suspenders. Right. Shorts with suspenders, what we call them here.
So he
cut off overalls.
Trying to get that German in Southeast Tennessee, shorts with suspenders.
Right.
Suspenders.
I told Joe, I said those in Tennessee would just be overalls.
Well, they're cut off overalls.
Right, cut off overhauls, as some people call them.
All right.
I might learn that dance, though.
So I'm telling you, I'm gonna be impressing Kim.
I'll be impressed. I mean, Joe, I'll be impressed. I mean,
does that not impress you right there?
Well,
I'm
Joe,
doing that?
I mean, I've seen the Palo Penguin for years.
Well, wait a minute. Is that not impressive?
The Palo Penguin. Now you have to understand that we are from the disco age. That Joe was very. He thought he was on Saturday Night
John
Fever.
Travolta.
He thought he was John Travolta. He thought he was Vinny, and yes, he had the hair. He had the. Platform.
I've got $20 to see that right now.
I had all of that.
And and now, but he's been doing it for years, and it calls for him going all the way to the ground.
Backwards. I go backwards, like limbo.
Yes,
is that what that is? The limbo thing.
Yes,
that's called 911.
Right.
Yes, we've done that too. But anyway, so I'm excited for a new chapter, Joe. When you're,
huh? Am I impressing you?
Honey, you just don't know.
Okay.
Right.
There's a little bit more of that where I came from a little bit later on, Kim. I'll be slapping that later on. Okay. All right. Ron Moore.
I'll be back in a minute.
I know, enough of this. I don't know.
It's early.
Okay.
Ron has joined us, and Ron has got some great history to impart.
And I've got a question for you
yes,
today.
Sir.
Do you know the title of the city official song? The city of Cleveland has an official song.
Oh, does it?
It does.
Well, isn't it the city of spirit?
No, that's a motto.
Oh, okay.
A slogan.
Official song. Oh.
We actually have a song written by a very famous composer. It's been the official song since 1906.
Really?
1906.
And I called the fine mayor today, Mayor Rowland, early this morning.
The fine one.
Got him out of bed and said, Mayor, do we have an official song? He says, yes. And he knew what it was. And I said, do you have a copy of it? No. So he said, I think you can search it on the internet. So I spent many hours early this morning.
Yesterday
or 15
morning.
minutes.
many hours.
All right, I Googled it, found it right away.
And found the official song. But now I'm going to tell you a story to get around the long. I never go straight to it.
Oh, that's what makes it interesting.
That's right.
And in the early 1850s, the railroad come through Cleveland.
Okay.
And which brought a lot of merchants through here, and it brought, the copper ore come down here, and that was a big place. So this was a busy place, and the railroad helped that. And also what it brought was traveling entertainers through the area. The vaudeville act, well, not vaudeville, but they called it something before then, but comedy acts and singing and big bands and things, that type of era entertainment. And they'd come through and they'd make a stop here and they'd perform. Well, from 1850 to about 1878, they really didn't have any place to perform except the City Hall maybe, or the Masonic Lodge, or maybe a big church or something. So they didn't have a lot of places to perform. So Walter Craigmile in 1877, the Craigmile name is a very popular name here, decided to build Cleveland's first opera house. And so we had the Craigmile's Opera House. Still stands today. It's in downtown Cleveland, right across from the courthouse. If for us people have been around a long time, if you remember where Cooper's bookstore, if you look to the left, and the big 2-story building there still says Craigmile Opera. Now, that was the big place to go. It had walls, scenery painted on it. And so we started getting bigger and bigger acts coming in now, since we had a big opera house. And the first thing we ever got in there was the Southern Favorites. They were a group of young blind ladies who sang and performed, and they were a huge hit. And we had Tom Thumb come through, and we
couldn't see him, but
but we all these feature things. Have you ever heard of a guy named John Philip Sousa?
Oh, of course.
John Philip Sousa performed at the Craigmile Opera House here in Cleveland,
And he's
Tennessee.
the one that wrote our song?
In 1906, and yes, he did.
Now,
Now, he did not write it. He did not necessarily write it for Cleveland.
Oh.
But he had wrote the song, and he premiered the song, I understand. First time he ever played it out live was at the Craig Mile Opera House.
Huh.
I think he'd written it around, the best I can tell, is around 1904. It's not one of his more popular songs. Of course, Stars and Stripes Forever, the Marine Corps hymn, Semper Fi, the Marine official march. Those are all written by John Philip Sousa. He's called the March King, the American March King. So him and his band performed a song called The Diplomat, which is now, in that day, they named The Diplomat as the city song.
Huh. And that's where that Diplomat Motel came from.
I'm not sure about that.
Wow. Whoever thunk that?
John Philip Sousa, of course, best known for his military and patriotic marches he did. He wrote the official march for the U.S. Marine Corps, and the Stars and Stripes is the official march song of the United States. Huh. The night he was here, he premiered the Diplomat. After the performance, it was named the official song. Now, I would challenge you to go out, if you walked on the street, took one of your cameras out and says, what is Cleveland's official song? You would never hear the Diplomat.
Yeah, absolutely. No, you're right.
Now,
what would we hear?
People will go, I don't know.
I really don't know. I don't know. That's what
it's a well-kept secret. And I'm not sure why we keep our city song a secret.
Well, we have to hear it first, then we'll know whether or not why it's a secret.
It's not on CD yet.
Okay.
You can't get an MP3.
Does it have a good beat and easy to dance to?
It is a march.
Right.
And it's a entertaining song. You can imagine John Philip Sousa in 1906. What this is about the middle of his life. So he'd been around. He was the leader of the Marine Corps band, of course, early days before he went out, started touring around the country, come through on the trains and appeared here. So now, if you'd like to hear The Diplomat, I have found the source.
Okay.
The only source. It's not in record stores. It's not even on any cable channel 800 number. You cannot order this song, but you can get it. You have got to go to www.dws.org.
Dancing with the Stars.
Whoa! Who'd have thunk that?
No, I think that's different.
I think it is too.
This is an org.
I'm being silly.
Oh yeah.
www.dws.org. Okay. You'll come up to a John Philip Sousa site, and it has all of his works. You search for The Diplomat.
The Diplomat.
Not just Diplomat. The Diplomat.
Now you heard it.
I have heard it, yes.
And what do you think of it?
Did they have sheet music to where if you wanted to?
No, there's no sheet music.
This
is pretty limited.
The local bands couldn't.
You can download an MP3 of it from there, but it's got a little tab. You just click it, and it will play it for you immediately.
Aha.
I wish we.
Well, I think one of our I think our high schools should learn to, in their band class, should learn to play.
It would be great if one of the local bands would learn to play that. Walker Valley, Cleveland, Bradley. It's called The Diplomat. John Philip Sousa wrote it.
Or the band that.
Them, yeah.
Never mind.
What?
Nancy, the guy that was here on the morning show, that they do the local band that's here, that they perform. Oh, that's what I'm saying. I didn't know. Shut up. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
The guy owns the music store on Emmett Street.
Right. Yes. Hooters.
Not Tutors.
Is it not Tutors?
Yeah.
No,
he does a band.
Yeah, he does have a band.
Yeah.
He does.
You know exactly what I'm talking about. You're just being mean to me.
I have no idea what you're talking
He's
about,
being mean
Kim.
to me, Ron. Right now, he's
right on TV.
I know. He's just letting me squirm. He can save me, but he won't.
This Mayor Rowland told me this, and I didn't have time today, but I'm going to call back tomorrow and confirm it with the secretary, and then I'll really know the truth about all this, because she will actually know, because she's usually the one that says, "Well, Tom, this is what this is." So,
so this is stuff he told you.
Yes.
Right,
this is good made up stuff.
We don't know if this is true.
Some of this stuff I actually saw in books.
Okay.
And then I found this Diplomat thing. I said, I didn't know what this is. I changed everything I was going to do today. I completely changed it to do the Diplomat because I thought it was so unique.
That is unique.
And I had heard that we had a song, but if you'd asked me today, the man on the street, I'd say, I don't know.
Right.
So,
yeah, I had no idea.
And tomorrow, probably no one will, everybody will still say, I don't
I'd
know.
love to hear it.
I don't know,
wish
Joe.
we had a
I
copy
don't know.
right
We
now
should have
could
done it
play.
before and after. Man on the street asking questions because
But yeah, so the
we
Diplomat,
know a lot of people that
and it
tune
was
in
written
just
by
to
John
watch you.
Philip Sousa.
Yes. And performed, I understand, for the very first time
here
at the Craig
You
Mile
know,
House.
I'm wondering now. He was big back then.
Well, yeah.
And traveled and rode all, like you said, the marching. I mean, how many people were in Bradley County when he came here in 1906? How many people showed up to listen to him play that?
We probably had at that time probably getting up close to 7,000 to 8,000 people in 1906, maybe a little more.
So that was pretty good size then. In
Well,
consideration.
you have to imagine traveling through the country. There was going to be, unless you were in the New York areas or big areas, there are going to be smaller crowds and people who had probably we're not talking about radio or anything available.
Right,
no cable, no iPhones. But just hearing the big name come through here, and a lot of people just probably went and heard him, didn't even know who he was.
Right. Just for some entertainment.
Right.
I mean, I'd go watch you do that.
My understanding is that the Craig Mile House had a lot of attendance there.
I'm sure.
And of course, the comedy acts were really big and things of that nature. And thank goodness that building was saved, and we still have that. I think Jones Management may own that building now.
Now, is that on the historical register?
It is on the National Historical Register. Sure is.
I mean, that's a beautiful
right there.
building.
Our offices are right there.
Yeah, I know, and it's a landmark in town. Everybody knows the Craig Mile.
Like I say, if you go to the courthouse, you can just turn and look across the street, and you'll see the big building.
It's still ornate,
Very ornate, yes. And it's a great looking building. Of course, there are office buildings in there. At first, the first floor was actually Strickler's drugstore, I believe, and Cooper's, and that were businesses down there.
Right.
And the Opera Hall was actually upstairs, and they had scenes painted on the walls and nice curtains. Then later on, the National Guard met and drilled up there.
Oh, really?
At one time.
Well, and then I think Jim Price had his photography studio upstairs there for a while too.
We had our pictures taken up there.
Yeah, we sure did. It is. It's a beautiful building, and that's very unique. I did not know we had our own song, and
they have storytelling there now. I think around the October season and the Halloween season that they do storytelling up in the Craig Miles building. So a lot of history down there on that street, really.
Oh, there's unbelievable. I could tell stories for the rest of the year just on the downtown square and the buildings that are built, and they're still there. If you'd have time to walk around the courthouse, take time and look around at the top of the buildings and see when they were built and different things. Where the SunTrust used to be Merchant Banks, that was the Arts Hotel at one time. There was a hotel right there on the corner, and they tore it down to build the Merchant Bank building there.
When was the hotel there? Because I don't ever remember.
Turner Century.
Oh, Turner Century.
Yeah. You don't remember that, Kim?
You missed it by a day or two.
I missed it by a day or two. Okay, I didn't know.
Yeah. And really, and you're right. If you do, I've done that. I've looked at those buildings, and it's so weird how they're all put. Obviously they're put together, but they're all so different and unique in their way the brick is laid, the way the windows are put in, the window sills, the way they're set up. It's just all, but yet it's the same. It's kind of hard to.
And the Downtown Initiative has really done a really good job at protecting that integrity of the square and all of that. They really thought about that and made that possible.
One thing I would like to see happen in Bradley County is that if you, I'll use Franklin, Tennessee, for example. If you go to their downtown square, there's probably 15 or 20 historical markers within 2 or 3 blocks of downtown. Bradley County only has 5 or 6 historical markers. We have one at the Candies Creek Mission. The one for Rattlesnake Springs is no longer there. We have one for Charleston. We have one now for Bradley High School, the old Bradley High School. So just a handful. And we have just the Cherokee Indian part of our county. The problem is they're about $1,500 a sign or a little more. And so Bradley County don't have the money to do that. We've got to come up with ways from historical societies and people to donate monies and get together and mark these things. And if you don't know if you want to do one of those things, just call Deb and I, and we'll point you in the direction of something to do.
Yeah, and if you want to hear more of Ron and Debbie and of course history about our area, tune in Saturdays from 10 till noon.
Are you earlier now?
No.
Oh, not yet.
10 to noon.
Well, no, we done 8 o'clock this week for the last week for the Pancake Day.
Yeah, for the pancake. So it's 10 till noon on Whoop Radio 99.9. It's Old Town Cleveland. Deb and Ron Moore, and they talk all about what we're talking about today, all kinds of history. They take phone calls. You can interject some stuff maybe that you remember or have heard about.
And what's your Facebook? They have a great Facebook page.
Facebook, yeah.
Right, they do.
Yeah.
They have great photographs.
Old Town Cleveland, 3 words, Old Town Cleveland, and we have old photographs.
They do.
Almost
Great Facebook page.
once a week we put in 5 or 6 new photographs. I put the Arts Hotel on today, matter of fact.
Oh, did you?
And we'll put things from the 60s and 70s and 80s now, which is historical, all the way back to stuff that you don't remember.
Right.
And just unique things. But it's surprising. You put on there, we put a picture of Dooley ice cream on there, and people just went crazy.
I remember that. Grape ice cream.
This week, this is great.
All right. Well, we'll see you next week, and we'll talk
Tune
about
in
again.
Saturday morning.
Birds and the bees.
Birds and the bees.
Yeah. Have yourself a good week.